All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are hopping into game number 1 in this Terran versus Terran. And we're going to be starting down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map on top of the yellow Terran player from North America, from the United States. Give it up for Juggernaut Jason. I think he's explaining the story behind his name.
And in the top, he is our blue Terran player. It is uThermal.
I actually want to catch up on this chat. Your name is really funny for meme purposes. I just lost to Juggernaut Jason.
So apparently Scarlet is playing under a different name.
Oh, that's cool. So the interesting thing about Scarlet, we were talking about this during the map intro between us, is that Scarlet has sort of just been prioritizing, I guess, like the Korean stuff over any of the qualifiers for other things. So like, for example, she was preparing for the, I think, SSL qualifiers. It was SSL or GSL qualifiers at one point. And she just sort of opted not to participate in one of the other qualifiers that she could have played in for North America, but it would have meant that she would have been like on less sleep and all this other kind of stuff. So like she ended up not playing in like one of these other qualifiers for a foreign event. So she really has been prioritizing and like taking the whole Korean thing very seriously, it seems like.
Yeah. Okay. I know like No Regret was doing the Code A qualifiers. Did Scarlet end up playing in that as well, or?
Yes, I think Scarlet ended up playing in that. Of course, like obviously, as we know she's not in Code A, so unfortunately neither of them actually ended up making it through, but I think both of them have had like pretty decent runs through those qualifier brackets.
Okay, cool. Alrighty then. Well, let's see. I mean, obviously Scarlet is not any of the players in this game at all.
Yeah. Or the races.
Yeah, not even.
Even our off races, not even Terran, it's Protoss.
For the most part, right?
Yeah.
We've had some experience doing that. That was fun.
Oh, God. Well, we do have CCs coming out of both of these players. Dust Tower is going to lend itself toward more macro-oriented games, but, you know, occasionally I feel like I do see players going for slightly less macro-oriented styles. Oh, this is kind of interesting. Wow, uThermal. It ends up being 2 Reapers versus 1, but uThermal manages to have one of his Reapers with a lot more health, and he sort of takes advantage of it. He may even be able to get a kill off on the second Reaper. He still has a lot of health left over on his.
And he might even get that other Reaper there. Oh, this is so annoying for Juggernaut Jason. I mean, look, he has to actually go in with the Reaper, and this is like really scary micro, because if you mess up, it can snowball pretty badly.
He's already losing a lot of mining time and, you know, just delaying a lot of other things. Now, luckily for him, it's not like his starport was delayed, but of course, like the 3rd CC already got scattered out, whereas uThermal is going up for that faster starport. So builds are being revealed. Like this Reaper has already done so much for uThermal.
Yeah, I mean, this is great, especially in a mirror match. And he got his 3rd base down, right? And it's already on location. So yeah, I definitely feel like that Reaper did a lot of work. So he's gonna take that advantage. I love how he doesn't actually let it slip or let his macro slip while he does it.
Of course, tried and true champion. uThermal gonna be very, very much on top of that, but I'm sort of interested in where this is going to go from here. There's like a small little edge that I would give to uThermal. It's not a huge one. It's kind of the, I got a couple extra SCVs. I maybe have some of my production up a little bit faster, which I think is like the big thing. A lot of the time in TvT, I know I would always get told by like Zombie Grub and other Terran players and everything. It's not necessarily just about like the SCV count. It's about production and who has more siege tanks, as well as who can just make more units faster.
Exactly, and one of the bigger things is that I think that Reaper play allowed him to get that confidence in order to build it on location. So yeah, they both have the 3rd bases coming up. They have the same kind of infrastructure at the same time. However, it's just when you do the same thing as your opponent and you're doing it slower, then you're gonna start falling behind. So I mean, I guess you could try to attribute it to like micro, and people are really good at that, you know, like positioning of the siege tanks with the medevacs. But I mean, I think uThermal has some pretty good experience when it comes down to this matchup and the kind of style that pretty much almost every Terran has been going for in this matchup as well. So I mean, there's no gimmicks, I believe, here.
Yeah. Well, I am definitely interested to see where this goes, though, because right now I'm gonna be keeping track of this since it's still like one of my favorite stories for all of these qualifiers is going to be like that Europe versus NA, and right now Europe is batting 2 for 1 against NA.
I feel bad. It's like, come on, NA, do it. You can do it, bro.
I know, like, I would very clearly bias both of us, but I mean, I still like uThermal's
mirror matches too, right? So it's like, god damn it.
uThermal's definitely like one of my favorite like European Terrans. He is definitely up there as like one of my absolute favorites. He's a lot of fun to watch as well. He has a pretty aggressive style. He has some crazy micro, but
yeah,
I really do feel like that's the thing about this matchup is that even though I will say like, yeah, you're right, Jason is just, he's doing similar things to uThermal, but just slower. In TvT, you can always bring a game back with a good engagement. And that's one of the cool things about it.
I agree 100% with you. And on a map like Dusk Towers, where it's going to be a macro-oriented game, there's really no way about it now, at least judging here from the production tab. You already see them. Yes, they are doing very similar things, but it will come down to that engagement in the middle of the map, deciding on if uThermal decides to push with 1-1, you know, trying to push his advantage a bit more. And if he messes up some way, or like Juggernaut Jason has like the defense of a lifetime, if you miss out a drop and you just get your production camped, there's so many things that can go wrong. And yeah, you know, you can't really count anybody out at this point.
We had 2 siege tanks lit up for Jason. I was wondering if he was gonna maybe just try and do a little bit of harassment, or I guess just maneuver around with them, maybe move out with some Marines. But no, it looks like he was just cleaning up some of the Marines out on the map right now. Sensor towers up for uThermal, so it's gonna be pretty hard to drop him straight in the main base, especially on this map. Drops are just, they're so common, so golden. So many golden opportunities arise from them.
I love it too, and you already see that the sensor tower is coming out here out of uThermal. He didn't put it down on the south location yet, but that is the more common location here on the left. So if you at least have, yeah, look at this, the Vikings on the south of the third.
Oh yeah,
they're not gonna get by that. So he has his base covered, literally.
Yeah, Medevacs loading up for both these guys, but it is just the siege tanks and the Medevacs. What I'm curious if this is indicating that Jason is about to move out. He's got 2 more Medevacs on the way with another siege tank. He's gonna have the perfect number, 1 for each one of his siege tanks. Has a nice missile turret defense back at home, Jason does, as well as just look at the map vision for Jason. This is something I really love.
This is really cool, right? Like, we see the bases being covered by uThermal, but then we see the map being covered by Jason, right? So to each their own, they have different ways of spotting for whatever it is that may try to at least take them by surprise. And I love it that they take 2 different approaches, but it's actually really cool.
Yeah, Jason now doing that big move out as he can rest assured saying, hey, I don't have to worry about you going for some big doom drop and killing me off, because I have the map vision to know you're not moving across the map right now. I know exactly where your army is, and I can safely just kind of scoot around the map, maybe shut down a bit of your map vision since you have those Marines moving around, and boom, I seize control of the map once again.
Yeah, this is actually really impressive. I really have to give it up for Jason. See if he can capitalize on it and actually make it work for him. You know, that kind of advantage we were talking about is starting to kick into gear as the 2-2 of uThermal is completing. He has +1 on his machines, or at least the ground units here for the mechanical. And he started making a bunch of turrets. Where did he put them, though? So look at all these turrets in uThermal's base, right? Like, he is not trying to get dropped right now at all.
Yeah, I know Juggernaut Jason has been super on top of the missile turrets already, and I think you were saying like he's adding on a couple more. uThermal had a few, but Juggernaut Jason is going ham with them.
I love it though. You know, it's just like play extra safe. Why not? You're gonna have a lot of minerals anyway. So one way you can lose is just by getting surprised by a doom drop even. So here comes.
I love this though, because you have to remember that uThermal is not going for a big doom drop or like a big, oh, surprise, here's my army thing. But because all those Marines are out there for Jason, yeah, he ends up losing a bit of his army, but he gets such good vision that, again, we were talking about good engagements can make or break a TvT, and look at that. Jason gets the first round of siege tank shots off.
He does, but he doesn't have 2-2, and the Marines are going to go and swarm in here.
And they're doing a lot of damage. There's no Marines left over for Jason.
Oh my, I think that was a little bit of a weird engagement, but it does work out for him as he does get in here. Has to reposition the siege tanks. Jason does. He's holding on for his life here because he wants to defend the planetary, but his third base is under fire.
Oh, I think this third base is gonna have to lift off, and even if it does lift off at this point, I feel like it may still end up going down. Jason is unsieged, just trying to maneuver his units, his siege tanks to come in for a big sweep, and hey, he might be able to kill this army off, but the siege tanks are vulnerable.
Yes, they are, and now they're gonna try to clean up here as they go down the ramp, but when you lose your third base and then you lose your army, you lose the game, Fear Dragon. That's what happens.
That's the way it goes, and uThermal takes a game, yet another one on the board for Europe versus North America.
And another one. Yeah. I mean, that's we were talking about it the whole time, like it could be all into the engagement. And I think what had happened there is the fact that uThermal engaged with his 2-2. I don't know if he realized how far ahead he was in the upgrades, but he engaged when Jason was on 1-1, and it was on his side of the map, right? So on rather on Jason's side of the map. So it's like if you don't defend right there, then all of a sudden it starts to be this awkward situation where it's like, wait, I'm the defender, I should be able to do this really easily. But that upgrade lead, man,
it definitely ends up playing a pretty big part, especially with the Marines, because like the Marines, ironically enough, are the tanks for the tank. Like they soak up the the damage for the tanks.
I guess you're right there.
But when your Marines go down that quickly to your opponent's Marines, then you're just bound to run into a lot of trouble.
So right. Game number 1 on Dusk Towers does go to uThermal, but it wasn't even like Jason just got completely stomped or anything like that. It just was basically they did the same kind of thing on a macro map, but uThermal was a bit ahead, and that's just how it goes sometimes. I mean, you have to do something. There has to be an X factor if you're behind in order to actually take a game like that. It's very, very unless you stall it out to the really, really late game and everything catches up, and then you out micro and you out think, out position, out strategize your opponent. So I don't think that was not enough time for Jason to actually do that.
Yeah. Sorry about that. We are just waiting around. uThermal, I think he's having a relog. We were gonna hop to a short little break as we get ready to hop into game number 2, because I ran the break, but I didn't run the ads. Rifkin, please don't be mad at me for the last one. So we're gonna hop to a short little ad break since uThermal's just waiting around and trying to, he's like relogging and getting stuff figured out. So we'll be back in a little bit with game 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We're hopping into game number 2 as we spawn down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, the yellow Terran player. Give it up for Juggernaut Jason.
And in the top left corner, it is a European Terran. He is uThermal. No, uThermal. No, uThermal. No, no.
Temp. What did I say? Qua me? Qua you.
Qua me? Qua you.
I think that was like the biggest revelation for me at MLG Anaheim when I realized that I could say that.
I just realized we never played charades at DreamHack.
No, we didn't. We didn't play, more importantly, we never played Mafia.
Yeah, but weren't we supposed to, like, whoop Rifkin and GG's ass?
Yeah, we were. Dude, we would have nailed it because, okay, it's, like, I could talk about how awesome of, like, Team Darkon is, how much better we are of a pair than, like, Rifkin and Zombiegrub, but let's just be real. I don't have to, like, talk us up. All I have to do is explain how much those other two fight with each other and how, like, how often they'll just, like, get into arguments. We'd be totally fine.
We'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a bad situation there for Jason, who invested in 2 barracks in order to try to catch uThermal out, but by the time that he hit with the Reapers, the Hellion was already out, and I think that kind of threw a wrench in his plan.
Yeah, GG.
Okay. Oh my god.
So I feel really bad, because I feel like we didn't really, like...
Dude.
So Tempo, do you like the StarCraft casters that talk about the game?
Yeah, I mean,
oh god, like I normally like early game TvT, there's like maybe a little bit of Reaper aggression and everything. You can usually kind of like tune in when the Reaper aggression starts, but like that was just over in a flash. That really was an all-in build, and I do apologize. We missed that.
Well, I don't think it was an all-in. What I think what happened is just like he wanted to catch him by surprise while uThermal was teching or something, but he didn't do anything, and then he lost them, and then he just was like, maybe his spirit got shattered or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I set it to like no build order, so I can't even like take a look at the build order again to get a better idea of what that was. But well, uThermal does advance on 2-0, so big grats to uThermal. Moves on to the round of 16.
Well played.
Nice and easy for him.
I don't know what just happened.
But like I don't even want to like bring it to a break or anything because
I know you just like were going into one, or you just put one up. Yeah.
Some bracket updates. Kelazor is playing sort of right now in the round of 16. Those two are already in a game, so not gonna be able to catch them. Bly is out of game. Who is he winning on? He's winning on the results of Jon Snow versus Lambo. So that's just the ZVZ bracket.
True.
It's like Lambo plays versus Panda Bear Me, then he plays versus Jon Snow, and then the winner of that plays versus Bly. The winner of that could very well probably is gonna play versus Puck, so it'll end there.
True. Wow. Semper and Cruel are still going, and I wonder if that is
first round match too.
Yeah, I'm wondering if like they figured that out, because I would assume that if Semper were to play somebody in the first round, he's actually pretty favored here.
I'm actually not so sure anymore, because I'm taking a look and it still lists Juggernaut Jason as playing like his first round match, when he's like finished his second round match.
Already done with it, yeah.
So I'm actually gonna double check. Like for example, I think Ruff might be playing against the winner. He might be playing versus uThermal right now. That's just my guess. He's playing versus someone named CV, who I don't really know. Maybe CV is some like god I don't know about. Let's see.
I don't know.
Cham playing Foxer right now, and the winner of that plays versus Volts. And I guess we're just trying to find like who is out of game and who looks like they're ready to play their next series.
Yeah. Oh, okie dokie then. What I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know those, because I mean, excuse me, a lot of these games, I recognize one of the players and then I won't recognize the other one, but I don't even know, like, sometimes people have different names on the IEM bracket, and then they're like, oh yeah, actually Marine King, but
I've always really hated that a lot of the times, like, you'll be like, oh yeah, like Major is probably one of the biggest perpetrators of this. He'll list his name like constantly, something totally random. You're like, oh, okay, I have to remember at all times, like on Challenge, Major is this, and on IEM, like Major is this, and blah blah blah. Let's see.
I don't know, Kev.
What is Saravati doing in this chat channel?
He's just chilling.
You know who else is chilling in this chat channel? Peely Peely. Peely Peely already qualified for Shanghai.
It too. Yeah, he's just like, yeah, man.
He's just like, I'm gonna laugh at all these people who don't qualify. It's gonna be most of them.
I saw that too, and I was just like, wait a minute, like Peely, you know you don't have to be here, right?
Yeah. All right. Well.
So we got.
What is?
Oh, I lost. Laser and Warren, but I believe they're probably in a game. Well moves out of the game, however, meeting too, right? Yep.
I see a Laser is offline. Did Warren maybe beat him?
Oh, what?
I don't know.
Let me see. Let me check Skype.
Let me check Skype.
Is he'd be like, oh my god, oh my god.
I mean, sometimes Battle.net just bugs out. You know, so lists someone as offline when they're not.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I know that Jon Snow is still in his game, since I have him on a buddy list, and he's been in the game for like only 4 minutes.
So
I actually see Kelazor. This is like the weird thing. Like sometimes Battle.net just like bugs out a lot. It actually does this a lot. It'll have like an icon that says like I'm in a game. But then it'll say like you're in the menus, or like you've been offline for like an hour. I'm like, I was just in a game with them like 5 minutes ago. So it's really hard to read and tell like who's actually in a game right now. Moss is out of game.
I'm actually messaging him right now.
Okay, yeah. Can guess you in your next series. I really hope I'm not messaging him and like he just lost.
I mean, I'm hoping that Masa was able to do it.
we're hoping that like our faith in Masa and like knowing how good Masa is means that yeah, Cuddle Bear, he's like a cool. He's actually Cuddle Bear's like been doing relatively well like on the ladder and stuff. But I mean, it's Masa. It's not about Cuddle Bear. It's about Masa.
He was just done. He didn't tell me the result though.
I just asked like, can we cast your next series? And he was like, okay. So he would be playing versus Wellmu then.
Yep.
Unless the bracket isn't up to date and they've already played.
I don't think so. He goes, we're playing. I'm playing against Wellmu next.
Sick.
So,
all right, got a TvP.
We're gonna do it up. TvP between Wellmu and Masa. If he says it, he should. Unless he's like, no, you can't cast me.
No, he already gave the okay. All right, but I was mentioning this to you earlier, but I actually got an Oculus Rift yesterday, and I've been thinking about like what to do with it. And I was telling you this, like they have a bunch of different like built-in the apps and stuff you can use to like, for example, watch Twitch. Like I haven't been able to find an app that just lets me watch like a video from VLC or whatever, like a video that I have, but like I can watch like Twitch, and it doesn't let me pick a channel exactly. It doesn't let me like search for channels or like let me log in and choose from people I'm following. It isn't even like the top 500 channels or something. It's just like, here are random channels that you might be interested in. Here's like 15 to 20 of them.
Based by your eye color patterns that you might like these channels.
I know, right? And I'm just like, okay, are there any StarCraft channels? Or there's like, okay, well, there's Winter StarCraft. I'm like, okay, why did I pick Winter StarCraft? And like, who at the time was sitting at like 200 something viewers? And then there was like Rotterdam, who's sitting at like 700 or like 600. And I'm like, how is it picking this? How is it choosing this?
It's just like, either way, man. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I don't even know like what any good games.
I have an idea. You should figure out how to play like, or at least get the feed from your monitor while you cast SE2, and then put your camera in the bottom of the screen and like, like, all right, and the bunkers are going up, and the Zerglings are going up, Banelings over here. Like you're observing with the Oculus Rift instead of.
You know what would be cool with that is that if we didn't have like a traditional StarCraft interface for that, and instead what we had was, it wasn't like a monitor that just showed like this part of the screen. It was like the entire map was just like a giant screen, and like you could look around the map like that.
Like you're in it.
Yeah,
imagine that.
Oh yeah, if you were in it too, like just giant bird's eye view kind of thing. Next level observing.
Oh, sorry to
switch
up, but Lambo's been in a game for 1 hour.
No, I think I think that's BattleNet bugging out, because Jason, it says also has been like in a game for an hour. Actually, no, sorry. Here's what it says for me. Jason has been offline for 1 hour, which we just cast him, but it also shows him as in a game right now. Like, that's what I mean by BattleNet. Like, it's just been bugging out a lot lately with the icons and like what they've been doing.
Okay.
Yeah, especially if you've been using like the whisper list. I think it's the whisper list that's always like wrong, and I think the lobby lists, like the chat lobbies, are usually okay.
Hey, we got it. Okay, join off me.
Oh, nice.
Unless you're already in here.
I am not.
If you're in here, then I'm a scrub.
Man.
Yeah, boy.
But I guess Puck is currently playing his series out, which I think Pewee is streaming. I saw Pewee in the chat. I don't know what streaming.
Oh, Pewee.
Yeah, I don't see him on.
Go to sleep, man. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, dude, Pewee, pure European, got some passion.
Yep, they both start with P.
All right. Looks like the first map is decided is going to be Frost, and they're going to be hopping into the game. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for sitting around during the delays. Again, it's not what we wanted to do, but that's sort of just what ends up happening when we're waiting around for the players. We're hopping into the Frost. We'll see you guys there.